Okay, this is Kelly Borsheim here. I'm in my mural room, and I've hung my exhibit and I've gotten everything taken care of for the pricing sheets and labels and all that sort of thing. Now I'm trying to get the package ready to ship a marble sculpture that I have finished. This morning I finally worked on a couple of places where I wasn't happy exactly with the sanding and how it felt. So I came in with fine sandpaper again and sanded those places so that they felt a lot better. I'm looking at my sculpture right now here. You probably can't tell that's what it is, but yeah, you see just styrofoam. What I'm trying to do here is make a package ship so that the marble is not going to get damaged, because one of the things I learned from my engineering husband was that a lot of times people will put in the little shipping bubbles and think, oh, that's packed in plenty tight and all this. But if the object is heavier, especially a lot heavier than those little bubbles, then as soon as the package gets dropped or thrown or whatever kind of thing is going to happen, or even rolled over and tumbled over inside the truck or something, the heavy object is going to spread those balls and make its way to the ground. And so this is a way to make a solid piece of fairly hard foam, like the idea of styrofoam, but I don't have enough styrofoam here. And my former husband actually taught me this trick because he did it with one of my sculptures to get it here. I was taking it on the plane. But anyway, what I have done was I took this piece of cardboard here to give me something thick as a separating thing, like a shim for making a mold, actually. And then I traced the sculpture outline there, going on the fattest part where about halfway was, and I cut that out with the scissors. At first I sliced it with a blade to get a head start into the thick cardboard. Cut the rest out with the scissors. I don't need to be precise on it. I just want to get about a halfway thing that pulls up. So then I took clear saran wrap here, and I rolled it over the sculpture a couple of times, making sure that I had enough space so that the material could be pulled into the small details of the face without stretching it or, heaven forbid, actually breaking a hole into the clear plastic. That's a protection layer between the sculpture, and this is the spray foam. So here I have, this is a spray foam used for insulation around your windows and doors and things like that. So it came with this little handy dandy thing, which I probably shouldn't touch since I finally washed my hands. I don't know why I didn't use gloves. That was really stupid, but it just made for more work with cleaning myself up with mineral spirits and terps or something like that for oil painting. So the thing is that after I sprayed this, I worried that I didn't do enough to fill in the corners, because I found this box that I had. It's the only box I found with good dimensions, actually, that fit the sculpture quite close, but it's my old box for my net darning. I have Norwegian net darning materials. I used to do that years ago with my mother. And so I thought, well, I'm going to have to give up this box because I don't have time to find another one, and it's a good size. Plus, I needed a box large enough so that there would be some border around the sculpture, protect it. But I also needed it small enough that I could stick it inside another box that would have protected space around it, so that the piece inside actually has extra protection from thud. At least if the first box is dropped, it would thud and go into this box. This would have the serious protection inside for that. So that was my hope. However, the thing is, back in 2016, I got a sculpture commission to create an enlargement of my frog and cattail piece and add some elephant ears, and I did a Tower of Rocks thing like what I saw in Hawaii. Anyway, because of that, I used the same idea with foam. I took these large buckets that my landlord had and filled with sand, and I scooped out kind of the shapes of the rocks that I wanted, implanted actual rocks in some of them that I like their shapes a lot, and squished them in halfway, and then I sprayed this foam in there. And I had the same concern at first of, never having really insulated a house with that sort of material. I thought, oh no, that's really going to be too thin. What am I going to do with that? I should spray more to make the rocks bigger. But I didn't. because I had read the instructions and I had some idea, and also I was a little curious. But in 24 hours, it's like bread rising. Boom, it came up. And once I pulled that out, I pulled it out, brushed off the sand that was embedded in that side of things, and then I was able to take some knives and start cutting to sculpt it, like I would with wood or stone, except, lighter weight tools. So that's what I'm hoping is going to happen here. And do you see the air hole that's in there? I hope those things are going to fill up enough, because the instructions on the box said don't try to touch it. And you can see here with this piece of cardboard, I tried to sort of scoop things up in here to make it more square-like, and then I just told myself, let it go. See, right now it's already hard, that it's not really moving. I can try to push in that air hole, but it's not going to work. However, I'm counting on the fact that when I come back here tomorrow morning, it will be almost 24. Well, actually, it's about 1 o'clock right now, 2 o'clock. So I hope that it's going to be large enough to fill up the half. And then what I'll do is I'll flip this over, probably going to remove the cardboard. I haven't yet decided. We'll see how this works out. And then cover the other side of the sculpture with this plastic see-through clear wrap, and do the same thing on the other side. Then I have two halves that I can easily pull apart, so that if there's any inspection during the shipping, it's very easy for them to pull this apart, have a look at the marble, decide what they want to do with it. When I was at the airport in Austin, Texas, they actually scanned both sides of the marble sculpture, and then no one ever opened it up again and cared about it. Anyway, I don't know if that's going to happen here, but the point is that a lot of times when you wrap things, the customs people don't have the time or take the time to actually wrap it back as good as what you had it before. You end up getting your package or your luggage back home, and all of a sudden you're going, oh, what's this all about? I did a really good job packing it, now my stuff is broken. And of course, nobody's going to want to claim responsibility for that. So this is a way that they can pull off, examine what the contents, push it back on, shove it back into that inner box, shove the inner box into the outer box, and they haven't really changed anything with how I packaged it. So that's what I like. If this works out, I'll film part number 2, and then if it works out at the end, I'll actually publish this video. What do you think? Borsheimarts.com, and find me on Patreon, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and Etsy. And thank you very much. Please support your local artists, because you think it's hard for what you do. but COVID is an interesting time period where art's not something a lot of people think about it necessarily, although you are remaining home a lot more, so make it your castle. Ciao for now. Oh, I love this mural. It was a lot of work though, but still, most things are if they're worth it. Ciao, ciao.